Now we'll take a look at a level 5 organization, and yes, they do exist. Unfortunately, there's not as many of them as you'll find in a level 4 or level 3 or even a level 2. But fortunately, there are some excellent models out there of level 5 or level 6 organizations that have truly taken on a servant-minded approach to leadership and a partner view, adult-to-adult view of leaders working with followers. So let's take a look at one of these. I'll tell you a little bit about this particular group. It's a subgroup of a larger organization that is a health-assisted living type of facility, works with seniors. And this is a subgroup that is called environmental services, and that means that they do the cleanup work, clean the halls and rooms and toilets and so forth. So it's not the group you normally would think of that you would put into more of an enlightened leadership view, but this group scored very strong into a level 5 organization. And you can see that there were 34 respondents, 1 top leader, 2 management, and then 30 workforce. And this shows the brief description of an Org 5. Workers experience this organization as a servant-oriented organization characterized by authenticity, the valuing and developing of people, the building of community, and the providing and sharing of positive leadership. And these characteristics are evident throughout much of the organization. People are trusted and are trustworthy. They're motivated to serve the interest of each other before their own self-interest and are open to learning from each other. Leaders and workers view each other as partners, working in a spirit of collaboration. A great description, and of course it's the 6 key areas of organizational health described in a environmental services group. Okay? Here's the executive summary. Here is the what is the OLA is assessing, and we see that their highest is value people, their lowest is shared leadership. But again, that's just highest and lowest for this group, because you're going to see there's not a lot of difference in the scores here with this group, and this is the workforce. And shared leadership is, of course, the lowest, but all of them fall well within the Org 5 range. Therefore, this organization or subgroup of an organization is considered an Org 5 level. So you can first see if there's some differences, and of course value people is up there very high, share leadership is still high, all of these are high, but that's the lower of the high, and I didn't want to get that selected. So let's take a look here at an Org 5 description. I encourage you again to read these, be familiar with them. But when we work with an organization and sit down and go over the results, I like to have them read this. It doesn't take a long time, but have them have a pencil, a pen, highlighters, and just say, identify the parts of this description that ring true for you. We do this whether it's an Org 2, 3, 4, or 5. And it's very helpful then to open up discussion and put a flip chart up and identify the things that people agree are true about their organization. But this is a very positive description. You can see at the very beginning under workers. Most workers feel valued here for who they are as well as for what they contribute to the organization. They're believed and they're encouraged to develop to full potential. Again, very positive, and nothing you can do but encourage this group and, of course, talk about how they can maintain this high level of organizational health. At this point, they're way up here on the level 5, excellent health. It's in the servant leadership area. They have made this jump, this paradigm shift from parental thinking to partner thinking, adult-to-adult thinking. That's required for truly encouraging and empowering each person to lead, each person to be responsive. And again, I want to point out that this is environmental services. These are people that are not high professionals, highly educated workforce, but the leadership of this group has communicated that each person is valued, and each person is important, each person can lead and make a difference in the organization. Let's look at the key report here on page 9, and you see that obviously there's a very high perception match. Value people is almost identical up here in an Org 5. Also develop people. Now you begin to see a little difference here with build community. It's a little bit lower. That could be an area for them to talk about. A difference here in display authenticity between workers and the top leaders. That could be a bit of a conversation. Pretty much in agreement on provide leadership and share leadership. There's a little bit of a difference here. So again, what you're going to find is on this report you find a lot of common ground. You'll use the detail report at in the back pages to isolate some key areas where there could be some differences. Here's the perception match for the organization and leadership. Not a lot of difference here. A lot of strong feelings about the leadership. They're ranked the highest. Organization a little bit lower. But again, strong all the way through. Here's the job satisfaction. The managers are a little bit lower, but you can see they're in a very good situation, almost into the very good area. Top leaders, high level of job satisfaction, and the workers, which is most important for us here, also have a very high sense. You can read the narrative here under job satisfaction. It says, very good. Workers believe that they personally are making a significant contribution to the organization and that their job is very important to its success. They're able to consistently use their best gifts and abilities in their job while being highly creative in their work. They enjoy the work they do and believe that they personally are working at a very high level of productivity. This is really, really positive, and when you think about these are workers that are doing work that most of us would not want to do, I am amazed at the top leader's ability to create a servant-minded organization with this group. I give them full credit and applaud them for what they've accomplished. Here's their readiness for change, and it's moderate to good, and that's very, very good. You can read the description there. But there's energy that they can continue to grow and continue to change, and that's positive. They have a level 5 here, a little bit of perception gap, which is created here, so it's not as high a perception match. They would put them up into the very good. Okay, now let's take a look at the detail. And this is interesting. This is very interesting because most of this you find the agreement that you saw back in the original perception match. But here's one here where the top leader does not agree that people in this organization accept people as they are. And that would be interesting to explore that a little bit more. Okay. Okay, this one is missing. I think that's a PDF issue. If we printed this out, I think it would show. Okay, let's see. Most of these are sorted together. Here's one that's lower under build community. The top leader sees it all the way up to a 6. Number 24, people in this organization attempt to work with others more than working on their own. Managers and workforce aren't in the same level of agreement, and that could be a point of conversation. Here we're looking at display authenticity. Authenticity. Probably the lowest area is people in the very first one here, 30. People in this organization are non-judgmental. They keep an open mind. Okay, so that could be a point of conversation. Here's another one that's low, where the top leaders scored it very low in relation to managers. Look at the gap there between top leaders and managers. And that's number 41 here. People in this organization are held accountable for reaching work goals. All right. Well, there's obviously a difference of opinion on that particular area of provide leadership. Share leadership, mostly levels of agreement, pretty much. Okay. And then job satisfaction is high, though the lowest one here with top leaders and managers, they could look at, I am working at a high level of productivity. Let's see the highs and lows of what each position or role level identified. Here's the highs, and boy, this is all very positive. And again, encourage us to look at strengths. How can we build up off of our strengths, not just looking at our weaknesses? But let's look at the lower areas. Not very low, except that we do see here that the top leader has a pretty low view. People in this organization are held accountable for reaching work goals. People in this organization accept people as they are. Okay? How about the perception match? Okay, obviously high perception match here, and here's where the lows are, and we can begin to have some conversation on these areas of people accept people as they are and are held accountable for work. So that's reinforcing some things we've already seen. And then here with the workforce and the management, not a lot of disagreement. So those folks are pretty much tracking together. But here, let's take a look at this one. And we have, again, this is just reinforcing what we already saw, but the same level of disagreement exists between top leaders and managers as existed between top leaders and workforce. So even though this is a level 5 organization, let's go back to the kind of central page here. And this is the one I use always to sort of be the composite, the main page. It tells you that this is a positive organization. You want to affirm that, and you also want to help them, though, realize that they're not going to automatically stay at this high level. They're going to have to keep working it. They're going to have to keep expanding. For instance, with this particular group, their top leader was moved out to take another position in another organization, sort of got promoted. Well, one of the managers was moved up into the top leader position, and she is doing now an excellent job at maintaining this same high level of organizational health. So be encouraged. There are organizations that come up a level 5. We get to work with them and help them to maintain that and become models for other organizations.